Welcome
to the Film Shapes podcast.
Meet your new crew. Over here is Eddie No-Nose, formerly Eddie the Nose.
Well, what happened?
Don't ask me that. That's a no-nose, no-no, page one.
And right here is JD. He put the Asian in Home Invasion. And over there is the one and the only Bats.
No need for intros, Doc. Everybody from the jungle to the trap, no bats.
Hi, listener. We're talking about Baby Driver from earlier this year, released about 3-4 months ago, I guess. Directed by Edgar Wright, the very funny English director and writer. This stars Anson Elgort, Lily James, Jamie Foxx, Kevin Spacey, John Hamm, and a few others.
Great cast.
Yeah, it's a good cast. You saw it recently? I
did. I saw it on this small screen.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to get in deeper as we go, but
yes, yeah. So it's how can we sum this up? The titular baby, is a getaway driver.
Yeah.
Working for a gang of kind of ne'er-do-wells, I suppose, in Atlanta. He doesn't really belong in this world, does he?
Yeah, he's definitely an outsider character.
Yeah, he wants to get out, and he's itching for a way out. It seems at the beginning of the film there is a certain point where he can extricate himself, but things...
Of course,
yeah,
that would make for a pretty boring movie if he...
Thank you, last one. I'm gone. See you later.
See you later.
30-minute movie. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to bring this up. I think as far as the story goes, there's nothing new here.
I think, I'd probably agree with you on that. Not having watched a lot of films like this, but it does have a very familiar kind of vibe to the whole...
Yeah, he's this director's very into referencing. Like, I think he kind of based this on the movie called The Driver from the 70s.
Yeah. I heard an interview with him, and he's a really film nerdy guy, isn't he?
Nothing wrong with that.
But the level of detail, he was talking about that. There's a section in the film, I don't think it'll give too much away, but where there's a little moment, he said, "Oh, did you notice what happened in that moment? He actually turns off the airbag button in the car."
Oh, God, I didn't even notice
Is
that.
there even an airbag button in a car?
I don't know if there is.
This scene must last for all of a second.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, he's at that level of detail with stuff where maybe it's a little bit too much detail.
Well, some people may say too much. Some people may say that's very particular, very efficient, I suppose.
I don't know if it's efficient.
Not efficient, that's the wrong word.
Well, yeah, because if he's focused on all these little things, maybe is there some big picture stuff which could have been...
I think that
a little,
the story almost is a backdrop to the technical aspect of it. Did you notice one point, I think in the early car chase, a flash goes off when he goes through a red light?
Ah, no, I didn't.
I saw this on the second viewing, yeah. Then later, when his foster dad is watching the telly, there's a black and white picture of him from that.
Okay.
Which is great, but unnecessary. I think if you're going through multitude of red lights, probably one's going to go off. And
I don't mind that so much, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, this thing he was saying about the airbag button, and it just seemed a bit strange.
Over elaborating, maybe.
But yeah, there's a lot of cameos in this film as well, isn't there? And I don't know probably all the people that are in it, but the John Spencer song "Bell Bottoms" is at the beginning, and then John Spencer, I think he might have a cameo at the beginning of the film, but he's also in the last scene.
I didn't see him in the beginning, but he's the prison guard, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the prison guard.
Did you recognise him as a muso?
Nope.
I'd never seen him before.
No, wouldn't have seen him.
Yeah.
Who else was in this film?
Well, the director of The Driver, Walter Hill, was he the voice? I think he was.
Okay.
He was the translator for the foster father.
You know who else was in it?
Go on.
Flea.
Yes.
Flea. I didn't recognise Flea, and then I saw that it was Flea afterwards. Right.
Yeah, Chili Peppers Flea, yeah.
Yeah. So he's obviously right into his music, you know.
A couple of the Atlanta rap dudes, Big Boy and somebody else were in the bar with Spacey, Yeah, he really gets into it, doesn't he?
Who was your favourite performance in this? What actor would you say?
By a long ways, Jamie Foxx.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Spacey and Ham were really good too, but
I
Fox
really
was
liked John
incredible.
Hamm, having sat through the whole Mad Men series. You know, it's great to see him in a different kind of role.
I've never seen Mad Men.
Yeah, so very different.
What does he do in that?
He's
a madman,
He's the
is
guy.
he?
He's the guy. He's the advertising executive in the 50s, 60s,
okay.
New York. But yeah, quite a different character and time period. But also he showed up on an episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, really?
Christmas special a couple of years ago, which was the first thing I'd seen him in since Mad Men.
Okay.
And he did a great job there. I'm liking him more and more.
Then check out an episode of Toast of London.
Toast of London?
He's in that.
Write that down.
And the episode, I think, is called Ham on Toast. It's pretty good, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. No, they're all good, I think. But Fox is, excellent. I think he's mad, but not sort of wacky mad, you know?
Yep.
He dials it down a bit, but he's still a nutter. Yeah.
Kevin Spacey, as always.
Yeah, does the job.
Whatever else might be said about him these days.
He's still a fine actor, yeah.
He's great to watch on screen.
Yeah.
How did you think the main actors were both kind of new? What's his name?
Anson Elgort.
Ansel Elgort.
Is that right? Ansel or Anson?
Ansel.
Oh, bugger if I know. Ansel, is it? Okay.
So there's Ansel and Lily
James, I think.
James.
Yeah.
And apparently she's in, what's that British...
Go on.
That British show.
British show.
Yeah.
Downton Abbey?
Downton.
Is that it? I got that. Right. Ridiculous.
There's only one British show
There's only
after
one
all.
of them, yeah. Oh, okay.
So, yeah, do you think they were up to the same standard, or is it fair to kind of judge them next to these other
Yes and no.
veterans?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, they were cast to lead the film, right? They're the young leads.
Yeah.
And I think pretty much they're charisma vacuums.
I think you and I are a little bit in agreement on this. It wasn't...
Did you find that every time they were on screen, you wanted something else to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it always did happen.
Yeah, true.
You know, to credit. So I think maybe it's not entirely their fault that they came across that way. You know, I think it was maybe part of the writing as well.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's hard. It's one that's hard to put your finger on because in some ways their characters needed to be the way they were.
Yes, yeah.
You know, without giving it all away. But he's, I think we can give away that he's got tinnitus.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got that constant ringing in his ears.
That's
So he's always got headphones on.
Yeah.
He's kind of an outcast, but
That's
when you
actually
get-
quite a good little wrinkle. I think that's a nice, I wouldn't say gimmick, but it's a nice way of getting his character, the information about his character, why he listens to the music, hence the music becomes the movie. So it's a good sort of way in.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And that was the other thing, definitely with this movie, similar probably to, I think there's a bit of a connection between Tarantino and this director. isn't
Sure,
there?
yeah.
The way that music's used, the whole movie hangs on the music.
Yeah.
Without the music, it's
Well,
not a movie, basically.
One of the, I think probably many of them, but the first car chase scene is basically choreographed to the music of John Spencer, right?
Yeah.
Opening the boot, walking across the street. Some of the car movements are actually timed for each piece of music.
Apparently they would, rather than cut the music short, they'd create the scene for the length of the song.
Extended it, yeah. Did you see the clip that I alluded to before that Edgar Wright made in 2003 for Mint Royale?
No.
That's the setup at the beginning. He made a film clip in 2003 for them called Blue Song, I think, with a few famous comedy actors in it.
Is this one where he's walking with the coffee?
No,
to get the
when he's waiting in the car and doing all the...
the chase scene. Yeah.
Just before they come into the car from the bank robbery.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's about 3 minutes, I think, this clip, and he's basically had that idea and made it a feature-length film.
Yeah,
So
okay.
It's pretty novel, yeah.
That one I was thinking of was the Steadicam shot where he's walking through the street.
Yeah.
I think he's just bought the coffee or he's going to get the coffees, but it's a really long shot.
Well, yeah, he's
and he's
going
walking
and
past,
coming,
and there's
yeah.
people coming in and out, and it's all very like that would have been so complex to shoot. But I thought straight away it was a video clip. Where have I seen this before? And I'm sure it was a Kylie Minogue video clip.
That came out of left field. I don't know what that is.
Okay, maybe that's just my imagination.
Just check it out later. Yeah, but that's a Steadicam, pretty much a one shot. One. How did we say this? It's one.
It's a one-shot
one
shot.
cut shot. What? Yeah, no cuts basically. Yeah. Which has been done pretty well in other Firefly. I think they did it, and Snake Eyes is a good one.
Snake Eyes. Edgar Wright. What were his other films?
Well, he
to
started
put
off
things in perspective.
He started off doing comedy shows in England, and he did probably my favourite show called Spaced. Have you ever seen this?
I think I have seen
Simon
a bit of Spaced.
Pegg, Nick Frost. Yeah, it's very good, and he's got all those technical sort of flourishes, visual and audio, in that. After that, he did Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, that was a great film.
Great, yeah, excellent. So he hasn't done much wrong yet.
Now, is he always a writer-director?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for all of these things, I think. He did Hot Fuzz after that. And then he did Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I wasn't that big on that film.
I almost turned it off. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Then he a couple of years later, he did The World's End. It was the third in the Cornetto trilogy.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It's pretty good. It's It's Shaun of the Dead's actors again, Pegg and Frost, and a few others as well. It's a bit of a science fiction sort of piss take, a comedy as well. And then Baby Driver. But in the middle of all that, he was working on Ant-Man, and that went tits up.
What happened with Ant-Man? I thought that was a good film.
He didn't do it. He was working on it for 5, 6, 7 years or something.
And he got the sack or
mutual uncoupling, as it were.
He had a different vision.
Yeah, he wanted to do something, and Marvel Studios said no.
Maybe he was too focused on the minutiae of little scenes, and they said, "Well, this film's small enough already."
Oh, very good. Yeah, thanks.
But I was curious as well, the comparison with Tarantino and Edgar. What's the deal there? Are they really in the same ilk?
As far as using music, yeah, I think. I would say, story-wise, not exactly. I think Tarantino's, I don't want to say a better writer, but as far as structure goes, I think Tarantino's got it a bit over him. If you look at all of the films that Wright has done, they're kind of, the storyline is pretty perfunctory, and it takes a backseat to all the other stuff going on, the superb technical stuff and the visual flourishes and the gimmicks and the things like the edits where there's a coffee cup in Baby Driver, some guy's going to grab it and it cuts directly to a round lift button and someone's pressing that.
Oh, yeah, it's all very clever.
Very nice, yeah.
Clever.
But you say clever like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I thought that's where we were going with that.
No,
so.
that's...
no, but I do think it's sometimes can be a bad thing if that's what the main features of the film that you walk away with are.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
There were other things in this film, and also, they haven't used a lot of CG. All the driving apparently was done for real by these guys, precision drivers, I believe is their is the profession name.
Yep, sure. Yeah, there's all that. I mean, that's all great, but if you strip it all back, take all that out, the story is just, I've got one last job, I'm getting out of here. And no, you're not. And there's a woman who's helping him. She's the, hooker with the heart of gold cliche. And and there's a bad boss who, suddenly becomes a good guy to help out. It's all quite...
It's interesting.
You know what?
Hey, who's this hooker helping him out?
No, okay, that's the cliche. There's no hooker. There's
I think I missed a good half of the movie there.
That's just the character. Like, she doesn't have to be a hooker. She's a girlfriend or a waitress in this case, right?
Yep.
So it's a little bit played sort of template, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you're looking at a Tarantino comparison, look at something like Pulp Fiction. Let's use the obvious one.
Yeah.
That's very clever.
Another
the structure of that is
similar themed heist.
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah. Right.
Heist gone wrong style.
Right. Lots of stuff happening.
Yep.
Yeah. It's and it's fractured. It's quite fractured. So this starts and this ends, and this is the beginning, and this is the middle.
I think Pulp Fiction was kind of really, when that came out, there was no other film that had ever my impression was nothing had ever really done it quite like that before. There was something quite exciting about that film that was unique.
Right, that's true.
But, I don't know. What about, to move this along, there's some people have an issue with the ending of this film.
I do. Who are the other people? Who else have you talked to?
Well, I think I have an issue with the ending.
Go on.
I'm not sure if I think we're possibly in agreement here.
Okay.
As well, on a few factors here. Slightly moralistic, maybe. A little, it went to places maybe that it didn't need to go, but listening to the interview with Edgar, he did explain why it went there. But yeah, I'm still not sure. I don't know. Is there anything you can add on that without giving the film away?
Firstly, I'd like to say I don't know how it should have ended.
Yeah,
I'm not a filmmaker, so I'll leave that to them. I just thought it was sappy and cheesy and too moralistic, I think. And before, okay, this kid, he's trying to get out of this lifestyle that he's accidentally landed in. Yeah. But I don't know. Could we have? Did we need to see all that? Could we have just seen? Could we have made it up for ourselves?
Yeah. Well, then it would have been. I guess it's up to the imagination whether it went one way or another. Does he pay for his crimes or does he not pay for his crimes? Maybe?
Yeah. I get a feeling if the Coen brothers, for example, had the job of ending that film, it would have been 5 to 10 minutes shorter. They would have just gone, okay, that's where we're stopping. And what do you buggers think in the cinema? What do you think happened? Oh, well, go home and talk about it.
I guess that would have been quite a different film if the Coen brothers had have made the film.
Yeah,
that'd be quite interesting seeing different directors make the same film.
Yeah,
just as a really expensive, time-consuming experiment.
Yes. Well, that's that. Yeah, I guess Gus Van Sant did that with Psycho, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. Oh, same film. That was a cut for cut.
Pretty much a shot-for-shot remake, so that was an experiment, I guess. I haven't seen it, but why fucking bother?
Well, why would you care?
Why?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So is this film going to go down in history as a must-see?
As a must-see, I'm not sure. Like when I watched it the second time, I thought there are parts I like. Some of the dialogue's great, and there's a diner scene where he's talking about, why are you doing this? For me, it's a job. Jamie Foxx says, it's my job. It's you guys are on holiday, and it's well written.
I do think that was one of my favourite scenes in the movie was the very tense diner scene. Ooh. Again, I guess you go back to the Tarantino diner scene.
Possibly even Michael Mann's Heat with De Niro and Pacino.
Yeah, yeah.
So diners seem to be a good place for tension.
It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah. We don't even have them here, do we?
Diners. It would be a cafe here.
It would be a cafe.
Cafe with a small bar.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think aside from the driving scenes, which are pretty knuckle biting, can I say biting knuckles?
Yes.
Okay, knuckle biting. Nail biting is probably what I'm looking for. And some of the dialogue and all the technical stuff, all the editing, and there's cuts where you go, oh, look at that. Oh, your mind would say, oh, look at the way he's cut that. That's great. There's a scene where Baby's talking to Deborah and they're both on telephones. She's at work and he's at home, and he's on the left of screen, then it quickly cuts and everything else is dark, and she's on the right, and it's a really lovely transition. So the editors, who are they? Jonathan Amos and Paul Mackless, I guess, these guys did a great job as well. Cinematographer Bill Pope, who worked on The Matrix and lots of other stuff. It's technically superb, but does it stay with you? Like the story?
Maybe not. Is there a bit? Is it a matter of a bit of form over function, like all the technical aspects and everything working very well, but does it drive a strong story?
Well, that's where I think it lets itself down. It's not a strong story. We've seen it all before. Sure, we've seen with Shaun of the Dead, we've seen zombie films before. Yeah,
but I had never seen, and it's obvious, I'd never seen anyone pretending to be zombies in a zombie film. That was the best scene.
Ah, okay.
It's like, we'll just act like zombies.
Yes.
And even now in that Walking Dead, I don't know if you watch any of the...
Little bit,
There's a trick in that Walking Dead where they can just paint themselves with dead flesh.
Oh, yeah.
And the zombies don't know who they are. I don't know why they don't use it every episode.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because they were already dead. Yeah. Right. Oh, that's popped up in other things, I think, that trope, hasn't it? World War Z, maybe they used that?
I don't think so. No.
I've seen that somewhere else before. Anyway, but Shaun of the Dead is it's a Zom-rom-com, isn't it, really?
Zom-rom-com.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't invent that.
That's a good point.
I think they might have mentioned that themselves. So even though that's a zombie film and it's a romantic comedy, it's adding something new to that genre, I suppose. It's a new genre completely. So he's found ways. Hot Fuzz was a police drama comedy, which was a pastiche on many different types of old police shows, but I didn't enjoy that too much. World's End was a science fiction sort of alien invasion.
Yeah, okay.
And so he's sort of, I don't know, is he that original, this guy? Perhaps not. Spaced was his high watermark as far as I'm concerned.
But you seem to look forward to his films.
Yeah, because he's a great filmmaker. No denying it.
Don't want to just get too bogged down in the negative here because he is a talented guy.
Very talented.
Doing some interesting stuff.
Somebody once mentioned a few years ago what would happen if Tarantino just directed somebody else's script. What would the film be like? And didn't have a hand in editing because he's a bit baggy with his films.
Yeah, okay.
And now what would happen if Edgar Wright only directed a script given to him by a...
Well, maybe they'd come to a mutual agreement not to continue.
I see, but they were writing that as well.
Is this what's going on here?
No, because Wright and Joe Cornish were writing Ant-Man as well.
Okay.
It's just that I guess the final shooting script didn't agree with the needs of Marvel Studios, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Baby Driver, would you see it again? I've seen it once.
Well, I've seen it now twice, and I don't think I need to see it again. I'd look at clips of it. I'd look at the Jamie Foxx stuff and maybe some of the car chasing, but would you see it again?
I probably wouldn't see it again, but I was happy to listen to the interview with Edgar Wright. It was interesting, as much as some of it may or may not have served the film well. I think some of those little intricate little bits that he just nerds out on completely. It's interesting to learn about those things. So,
but listening to someone like him talking about his films and how he makes them is maybe more interesting than the film. Sometimes
maybe that's the issue. Maybe.
Yeah. No. He's a good guest. He's a good radio guest, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. So what are we doing next?
Well, we've got a film. I know we've got Dunkirk coming up.
Yeah, and
but you're probably the better one to advise.
I'll think about this. That could be the next one. We'll see anyway. Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm going to need you behind the wheel again real soon.
You call him there?